today's edition of Good Morning Anambra. My name is Ajiluchukwu Okabwe.
And I am Ijoma Uche. Very good morning to you. Today is Tuesday, so you just started with us. Guest status, we're going to roll till Friday.
Of course, and next will be our newspaper review, so don't go anywhere. The show is about to begin when we bring you updates on what's happening on the national dailies and the ABS website. As it's tradition here, we'll begin our Good Morning Anambra newspaper review with the news making headlines on ABS website. And first news we have for you is Anambra State Homeland Security Law. Soludo happy with improved security.
Anambra State government to arrest passengers who dispose refuse and roads from moving vehicles.
Encomium as ABS MD Moloku marks birthday.
Yeah. Jam to
commence 2025 direct entry application tomorrow, March 12. Federal government extends deadline for federal civil service recruitment exercise to March 17. And also we have fire erupts as oil tanker collides with cargo ship in eastern England. And Russia expels 2 British nationals for alleged intelligence subversive activities. That's much we have for you on the ABS website this morning. So let's start with congratulating our MD as he marked his birthday yesterday. IJ?
Yeah, I missed it. Let me start from there. Yes, but I tell you, as I was taking the news this morning, I saw the way he was moving his body, dancing to the lyrics of the music that you guys were singing for him. I said, this guy must be a good dancer. Happy birthday, sir. Very good. No lose. Happy birthday.
That's good. Now, talking about the Anambra State Homeland Security Law, Soludo happy with improved security. And that's when you talk and then you put your talk to action. Definitely that's what we get to see. And when they said, Madada Kali Ora, you understand, no matter how big you think you are, you can't be bigger. Yeah, Ufuye, you can't be bigger than the community. And that's what we are seeing with this improved security that we are experiencing in this part of the country. Well, we'll say kudos to Mr. Governor for deeming it necessary to tackle the issues head on. And then the results are there for all to see.
And I think it's good if other governors from this region will copy exactly what's going on here, because there's possibility of these guys are driving, moving to another state, and then waiting for everything to cool down here, and they will come back again. There's going to be this synergy among the governors of the South is for us to drive crimes and criminality of this region so that we enjoy peace.
Well, federal government extend deadline for federal civil service recruitment exercise to March 17. So for those that have candidates that will want to enroll, and you've still been given some, some extension there, try to see if you can make the very best opportunity of that extension. And with that, let us begin the day with the newspaper from national dailies. And then the first paper we have for you this morning is the Daily Times, and then we have the banner headline, Rivers APC demands Fuburas on resignation within 48 hours. And we also have El Rufai defect from APC joins SDP for future political aspirations. That you can find on page 9. And then also we have Lakurawa terrorists kill 13 and raze 7 villages in Kebbi. Also we have EFCC arrests 28 suspected Ponzi scheme operators. Wow, enough That's a welcoming news there. Police foil kidnap syndicate operation neutralize criminals in Akwa Ibom State. Rising petrol prices loom as NNPC ends Naira for crude agreement with local refineries. You also have court sentences 2 Chinese nationals for illegal mining in Kwara State. Why is it always Chinese that are being, when we talk about illegal mining in this part of the world, it's always Chinese.
Before it used to be Lebanese. It used to be Lebanese, now it's Chinese.
Quickly, let's see what we have on the next paper for review.
Okay, which is the Punch. Newspaper, banner headline there said defection to STP. Presidency, APC, knock El-Rufai, dismiss threat to unseat Tinubu. Did he actually threaten them? Ex-Governor Atiku meet again. Aggrieved PDP, APC bigwigs may defect. El-Rufai eyes new coalition. All these schemers. All right, other stories coming from the Punch. Impeachment threats. Fubara vows to fight on as PDP warns weakest man. NNCPL, Dangote Refinery begin talks on Naira for crude contract. Provost, Promised Land Building and Construction Limited acknowledges sex directive begins license processing. Natasha suspension, Senate rules out reversal at Babio queries suit. Okay, down here, soldiers rescue 75 civilians from Sambisa forest. And then Supreme Court to decide Anyanwu's removal as PDP secretary. Are they still going? APC council chairmanship aspirant hacked to death in Lagos. Too bad. And then Oyetola Adeleke's commissioners tread west over alleged 3.7 billion naira mismanagement. That's all coming from here.
Up next is the Daily Independent newspaper, and then we have the banner headline, investors interested in our economy, prices falling. That's coming from the president, Tinubu. And the writer says, our fuel subsidy cuts meant to benefit unborn generation. Inaugurate Youth Congress Planning Committee. We are poised to actualize Tinubu's plan for the environment. That's coming from Woke. El-Rufai joins SDP, vows to unite opposition against APC in 2027. And then we have Rivers crisis will emerge stronger despite all odds, says Fubara. And then we have the writer there saying, resign or be impeached. Rivers APC tells governor. Assembly orders arrest of Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission chairman and commissioners there. These schools embark on load shedding as transmission faults disrupt power in Lagos. NNPC clarifies Naira for crude contract with Dangote Refinery. That you can find on page 2. Headsmen killed 20 farmers in 4 Ondo communities. Lassa fever. NCDC confirms UK-linked case as death toll hits 98. Savannah Energy completes SIPEC acquisition. And also we have court to hear Natasha's suit against Senate March the 25th.
Okay, next paper is This Day newspaper. And on top of the name template, Naira for crude deal, we are renegotiating, not cancelling agreement, says NNPC with some writers there, discloses 49 million barrels of oil supplied Dangote since October 2024. And then Zach Adeneji-led committee says federal government not mulling termination of deal. And just briefly before the name template, the U.S. open to minerals partnership with Democratic Republic of Congo. Are they not coming here? And then Ogunlewe condemns Akpoti Uduaga's suspension, says her beauty is the problem, so she should have been ugly. Okay, presidency, El-Rufai's inordinate ambition that's destined to fail made him leave APC. Let's look at the riders there. Ex-Kaduna governor insists current situation in ruling party unhealthy. We won't lose sleep in Kaduna. And this is coming from the state party chairman, Lukman. He should have allowed us to join SDP as group based on ongoing negotiations. Wahala everywhere. But the banner headline here said, Bagudu says federal government has kept to 5% way and means Edun targets 7% annual growth. All on our heads. With some riders there, a budget minister says Tinubu appreciates Nigerians' support for economic reforms. State stability in FX markets, downward trend in inflation, evidence of reforms gains. Where is here? Instead, security remains a key challenge despite boost in oil production. Do we still have any story of interest down here? A stand up for education champion. Okay, I think that's all coming from here.
And up next is the Guardian newspaper with the banner headline, Consumers groan as data depletion, exploitation complicates telco's tariff hike. And then you can see the graphics there telling you how much internet data do you use. Wow, it's really, really interesting to see. Opposition camp swells against Tinubu as El-Rufai dumps APC for SDP. Boa orders defy forex crisis, post over 500 billion profit. Obi orders seek better approach to national security. NCDC confirms loss of UK returnee to Lassa fever as death toll hits 98. Federal government approves $1 billion to tackle child maternal mortality. And then we have here, Promised Land regularizes pro-vast license amid SEC directives. Crude, NNPCL sells 84 million barrels to Dangote, denies Naira deal stoppage. Court moves hearing of Natasha's suit against suspension to March the 25th. Resign or be impeached. That's coming from Rivers APC telling Fubara. Okay, moving on now. Daily Trust, Esther next paper. KB, that's the story is coming from KB, telling us as Lakurawa kills 13 in revenge mission, burns down 6 villages. I think that's the only story here, but let's look at this thank you, Mr. President story that says, open letter of appreciation to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, on the takeover and the conversion of General Hospital Kumo into a federal medical center. That's what we have using to occupy the first, the front page of a renowned newspaper. And now the Nigerian Tribune is next for review this morning, and then we have gunmen attack 4 Ondo communities, 20 feared killed, 14 bodies recovered. That's coming from police source. And then we have federal government stays within legal borrowing limits despite economic challenges. That's coming from Bagudu, Minister of Budget. Natasha Ezekwesili wants Akpabio to step aside, Barao to preside over urgent Senate session. Wants ICPC to take over alleged sexual harassment probe. Court orders Senate President orders to file defense in Natasha's suit. And then we have Naira for crude policy remains in place. Adedeji, Chairman Technical Subcommittee, over 48 million barrels of crude oil are supplied to Dangote in 6 months. Rivers APC orders Fubara to resign within 48 hours or face impeachment. Assembly issues arrest warrant for electoral chief. El-Rufai joins SDP, hints at more defections to challenge APC. His ambition inordinate will fail. That's coming from the presidency. Stakeholders weigh implications for APC, ex-governor's political future, northern voters. And we also have a student halt vehicular movement on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway protesting disappearance of LASU graduates. That's all we have for you on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, I'm from the last paper for this morning. That's the Blueprint. We have these stories coming your way. APC, Sheikh Hussaini to El Rufai. We aren't losing sleep. Party stronger without you. With two riders there. I joined SDP. This name will take time before I can get used to it. I joined SDP to provide alternative leadership. This is coming from El Rufai. And then defection, ill time. This is coming from Lukman. You guys just they play. Now you go tell me when to defect. Okay, other stories coming here. Troops rescue 75 hostages from Sambisa terrorist hideout. This is what we keep hearing. Why the politicians are just messing with our brains. Okay, and impeachment looms as lawmakers shun Fubara peace talk with some riders. APC gives 48-hour quit notice, and then House issues arrest warrant on River Sec chair and 4 others. This quit notice, or what are they even talking about? Anyway. Yeah, AJ.
Yeah, that's all we have on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Then we have the World Cup. Well, let's do something different, for at least for once. World Cup qualifier, Super Eagles open camp Sunday for Rwanda. And I hope that that match comes out with the necessary, the results that will take Nigerians away from all these political upheavals that we'll be having in recent time. Now, let's begin to talk about the papers as we have gone through them. Let's see what you were talking about, resignation to quit notice. So APC trying to, outmuzzle Fubara into, a pinfall here to make sure that he resigns within 48 hours. And people are beginning to wonder how feasible is that?
How can you say that to a governor that is duly elected in a state?
So they believe in
APC. He's not even a member of the APC. He's a PDP of the PDP stock. And an opposition party is giving him...
We really don't know where he stands because...
No, he's PDP. Okay, and the APC guys are giving him, what do you call
ultimatum.
Ultimatum to quit. I don't understand the kind of impunity we like who asked him to do that if not the what do you call it, the House of Assembly, and that is if he has committed any impeachable offense. Okay, you don't just wake up and ask somebody to quit or you impeach the person. Is it the party, APC party, that we impeach? What's really going on? What's this kind of impunity that you guys are brandishing in River State? It's a big question
that you're asking there. What's really going on? And you can rightly say what's really going on. Since the advent of this assembly, this democracy, this untruncated democracy we've had in the past 24 years, since 1999, we begin to see that with each step, we are regressing, we are retrogressing, we are not making positive, we're not counting our mileage in achievements, rather we are counting our mileage in embarrassment. Let me even use that word, because where in the world will everything reside? A man that was elected duly, he won the party primaries, he was duly elected, is now a governor, and there's somebody that is not within the state,
that is not even in government,
that is not in the state, is making a governor, a sitting governor, have sleepless nights, and then truncating the progress of an entire state. And this is what we begin to ask. Are we actually practicing democracy in the true sense of it? Because
autocracy.
I really don't know, because it's like there's this bird that is dancing that you're seeing dancing. Where is the drummer beating the drum? Because I don't think the governor or even the judiciary has the final say in what is happening in River State. And if you think that your state is safe for now, what happens in rivers will definitely and can happen to your own state. So no governor should sit down and think that this doesn't concern me, probably waiting until it will now concern you. It is time those pro-activists for democracy need to stand up and say enough is enough. We can't go this route for long. For how long will you have an individual making a nuisance of the state's paraphernalia? So I think people should speak up. SERAP and the rest of them, all organizations that are pro-democracy should stand up for what it is, and let us go by what the Constitution actually says. We are sick and tired of hearing what's happening in Rivers State. I think we should bring that to a conclusive closure in due time.
Fubara is not even bowing down to their threats is in this state. We all belong here. That's what his position is trying to say, that you don't have the right to ask me to quit. I am duly elected. So the process, we must go through the process if there's going to be any impeachment. But that's something I want us to look at in this Rivers crisis. Okay? Last night I was reading up something that said that this is about domination, some ethnic domination in a particular state that is colored by different ethnic groups. Okay? That this is an Ijaw man, and all the people that has been ruling Rivers State are from the same place. And now even his deputy is from the same side, I mean the other side that has been ruling. So if anything happens to, if there's any impeachment, that is the same side, the same ethnic group that is going to, I'm just choosing my words, that is going to, okay, replace Fubara. Perhaps that's why the Ijaws are saying no, we will not take it. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to be there because you have always been there. You have been dominating us, and now that we have opportunity, you want to push us out. And then, what do you call him? What's the name of the other big guy? No, not big, not Wike. Okay, Asari Dokubo has been threatening, if you push Wike, I mean, if you push Fubara out of seat, then get ready for war. I will not stop fighting until he's reinstated.
Yeah,
okay.
Even though this is not even a discuss for the day, you understand, but then this issue of where one comes from in order to be close or be in the corridor of power, it's what breaks this country. That's why we are standing on 3 legs. That's why we are on a tripod. We are never going to be standing perfectly because we no longer talk about, nobody preaches that Nigerian issue. Nobody pushes for Nigerian issue. What we push for is ethnicity, and what we push for is religion. And that is not what makes a nation great. Until we begin to say, first and foremost, you are a Nigerian, irrespective of where you are. A man from Sokoto living in Yenegwa, being given birth to, doing business there, paying tax in Yenegwa, can conduct an election so long you've lived there for 15 years at least.
They go outside the country and win elections, but when you come inside this country,
why do we keep calling ourselves Nigerians and then ethnicity is what binds us? And on that divide, we begin to say, this is my brother, this is my sister, so it should be here. Let it be rotational. Sincerely speaking, rotational breeds incompetence, as far as I know. Because somebody incompetent will be there waiting for his turn or her turn. Then he slides into the corridor of power. Why don't we build our ethics on capacity, antecedent of proving integrity, and then we'll definitely get to begin to think that Nigerian ideology. Until we get that, we'll still be having this issue of marginalization and then people believing that it's their right for them to be in power because other ethnic groups have been there. That is not what I stand for. And we can never get this country right if we begin to talk this way. Well, enough of that. Let's get to the next paper. We've seen a whole lot of comments flying around talking about, one man doesn't make a forest. That's talking about El Rufai's defection into SDP. But let's get to see what happens when the storm begins to gather momentum prior to the 2027 elections. And there's still a whole lot of permutations out there. We have aggrieved members of APC. When I mean aggrieved, in quote, aggrieved, there are still people that believe that they did a lot for the incumbent and yet they've not been settled. So probably, maybe with the moves of El Rufai, you could see other people.
You have come with another problem that is bedeviling this nation: settlement.
That is it.
Settlement.
You understand? So it's still, everything
that's why
still.
we'll never get it right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nobody does anything for patriotism's sake.
Exactly. So
it is about what I will get.
What I will get. You know, and that's why you keep breeding incompetence, mediocres, all getting. And now imagine somebody not getting a political appointment, is busy ranting, junketing from one political party to the other. Not just doing it alone, but now get the funny part. The son too is into politics. How can you groom a child to go into politics when there are so many things out there?
Politics is a profession.
It's a profession. It isn't.
Well, those of us that rep political science is a profession. Okay, so let's look at El-Rufai's stand in all of this. The guy said that he is free to do whatever he likes, move from where one point to another, that nobody is going to tell him what to do. That was why we asked that question. How will you say it's ill-timed? Is there any time that you defect and it is right? But the fact remains that, yesterday we've talked about this guy and what he could do. You know, we have so many of them, few of them, the evil genius in Nigerian politics. Okay, now he has moved. He's moving other people along with him. You know, he has been consulting. And I read somewhere last night that there's possibility that some faction from Labour Party and then from PDP is also moving with him, as a matter of fact. You know, he has been in PDP before he joined APC. Okay, and now he still have his loyalists here and there. He still have so many of them to move. But the question is, this movement, what is your political ideology? What is it that you are moving for? Why are we not getting it right? It's not because we don't have an ideology. We only look for our selfish gains. If you believe that this is the way things should be run, like in America, you will stay there in a particular political party until you die, because that's where your ideology lies, that this is the way it's supposed to be. Okay, but this one, no. You are just seeking for relevance, moving from one party to another. And I was even thinking that he could. Anyway, let's go.
Well, still talking about seeking relevance and then junketing from one party to the other. Common sense would have made us understand that if you know that it is not working well with where you presently are, you need to tell the people that you're sympathizing with in order to join them what you feel needs to be done in order for it to work. But we've not heard anything come out from the likes of El-Rufai and those that are aggrieved with the incumbents, because I would have been thinking somebody would come up and just give us like a 10-point agenda of what needs to be done, policies, and then what is not working and everything, so that we'll have an idea that you even have what it takes to even fix this country. But not telling us that you're moving from one party to the other.
No, he said it. He said that he doesn't like what is playing out in APC, that Nigeria has been set back in 2 years' time. It's been set back to 20 years' time, that what they worked for in APC to ensure that Nigeria progresses, that this particular regime has brought it down, and that's one of his reasons of movement.
If you have somebody that has lived in Kaduna for 20 years prior to El-Rufai being governor of Kaduna State for the 8 years, I'm sure the person will tell you that El-Rufai did more damage in Kaduna than any good. So,
tomorrow.
For people now that have lived in Kaduna before he became governor, and are living in Kaduna now that he's no longer governor, will be in a better position to take
that he succeeded. Somebody said it last night, that El-Rufai, as the governor for 8 years in Kaduna State, succeeded in cutting Kaduna State into pieces. That some part, like the part they call Southern Kaduna, okay, where you have the Christians, dominance, that these people wouldn't want to use their two eyes to see.
So what are you telling me?
To see this guy that is saying that somebody is not doing very well, that he messed Kaduna State up.
Under his watch, headsmen, invaders, terrorists went to NDA, abducted military personnel. Under his watch.
As a matter of fact, they said that he created insecurity in Kaduna State.
That he has the solution to Nigeria, but that's not what we're discussing about.
Depending on who will listen to him.
Exactly. Our presidency, El-Rufai's inordinate ambition, that's destined to fail, made him leave APC, and that's coming from the presidency. Talking about the same young man. Bagudu says federal government has kept to 5% ways and means Edu It don't target 7% annual growth. You know, under Emefiele, in the last dispensation, we are having this issue of, in fact, that was even when this Ways and Means became popularized, because a huge sum of money was uncovered, you understand, that couldn't be traced, and they just tagged it Ways and Means, running into, I think, $1 trillion or thereabout. So people were asking, please define what this Ways and Means are. It's no longer miscellaneous that we used to know before, in order to, you know, make expenses just disappear. But now we are having it Ways and Means. And then the question I'm asking is, this 5% we're talking about, is it 5% of the total budget? Because that's what I really want to be. If you tell me that 5% of the total budget goes under Ways and Means, that's an unaccounted...
And they do say it's targeting 7%. Why you are still complaining about 5%?
Well, let's see how we go there. Naira for crude deal. We are renegotiating and not cancelling agreements. That's coming from NNPC. Yeah. Most economists will tell you that when you do business and you do it in your currency, it boosts your currency, and that's what we have been trying to do. You understand? Talking about the CBN and the NNPC, in order to make sure that whatever transaction we are doing with our mainstay of economy, that should be Naira transaction. And then the NNPC have come to refute the claim that they are not cancelling that agreement with NNPC or with Dangote, as the case may be, but they are renegotiating. And I think it should go further with the same trade agreement. Probably that's part of the reason why Nigeria agreed to join the BRICS. That's talking about the Brazil, Russia, India, China, you know, and South Africa. So that whatever transaction we do within these countries, it will be within our local currency. That way we strengthen our currency and then reduce our over-dependence on the dollar, strengthening the dollar. American dollar seems to be everywhere you go, and then when you don't promote your currency, that's why we are having this issue of dollar, perforation and proliferation into our economy. So I think that's a welcome development if we can maintain that decision that they are taking for us. Well, there's an interesting data on the front page of the Guardian newspaper talking about how much internet data do you use, and I can see a whole lot going out there. Well, IJ, I don't know the one you belong to. They say video game, you understand, updates, approximate. That's even the largest consuming data that most people use. You use from between 20 to 60 gigabytes in order to, unfortunately, I know you're not a gamer, so you definitely won't fall into that place. And now, a 6-page PDF that you get for 5.9 MB, and that should be about the smallest we have here. Then you have streaming audio, 600 MB per hour, sending, receiving emails, 40 MB per 100 emails. Everything is streamlined. So now you know what you're recharging, and you know
what you are into. Exactly. Whenever you pick it, somebody was complaining to me that he recharged for 7,000 data, worth of data. And that was supposed to last for 1 month, or used to last for 1 month for him. But then they say it couldn't go 1 week. I said, because you don't understand where you are now. So be careful when you open those videos. And when you be on the internet for a whole day doing nothing, you know, thinking it's business as usual. They're now trying to tell you where the cocoa lies. So let's just manage our income.
While you're grounding, you understand that your data depletion exploitation complicates telco's tariff hike. And sincerely speaking, it's amazing for them to have come up with this data, compilation, telling us how much each activity that we do on the internet actually costs. But at the same time, you have your Android phone and you load. It doesn't. If you decide not to even do much with your data, it will still disappear. Not before even the expiration of it. I'm telling you.
How do you mean?
If you decide not to do this gaming they're talking about, you load up to this amount.
And you're not using it.
And you're not using it.
You loaded it for a period of time. So
I say even before the expiration.
Yes. Once we get to that period of time,
even before the expiration.
The data goes.
So In fact, there should be a way for us to actually checkmate what's happening.
That is what we have been battling.
Yeah.
Okay, that is only in Nigeria that you don't pay as you use when it comes to this kind of when it comes to airtime and data. Okay, in other places, even other African countries, you pay as you just like prepaid meter. If you buy meter for bill for 5,000 naira, when it finishes, you recharge. If you like, use it in 1 week. If you like, use it in 3 months. It's your own, depending on how you control it. That's what these people that are fighting for who wears a transparent dress to the Senate, or who is beautiful and who, was cat walks into the Senate. Is this not what they're supposed to be doing for us? It's not why we elected them to go there and do for us. They will now keep quiet and be chasing frivolities.
Because
talking what does not even what you are not even supposed to be hearing. Why the main thing they're supposed to handle is there. Why can't we be like other African countries where the amount you pay or you recharge stays there until it's usurped? You understand? Not when you put it a particular data for 1 week, before it gets to 1 week is off. Even if you don't use it, because that's why you brought it. Even if you don't use it, it will still go because you recharge for 1 week. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, that's the way we find things in this part of the world. And quickly, let's just pick one more story if there's still time, and then wrap it up before the next segment. The issue of gunmen attack 4 Ondo communities, 20 feared dead. We've heard at the beginning of the year, we were talking Amotekun, the security outfits in the southwest were making some routes about unidentified people inhabiting the forest in the southwest. And now we are beginning to see, attacks and then lives being lost. So I think it's enough for the police to actually sit up to their responsibility and then get to see if all these things can be, nipped in the bud. Because one thing with insecurity is that if it happens in your place and you think you're safe, don't sleep with both eyes closed, because this thing is like disease. Before you know it, it will just fester down to.
And just like we keep saying, what are the National Assemblies doing about insecurity in Nigeria? Don't they read these things we're reading here? People dying in their numbers. And you don't care. You won't summon any of the security heads. You don't care. You won't even visit. You won't ask what's going on. You won't prefer solution on how to keep the nation safe. Yet we elected you to ensure that we have safety of life and property. You don't. This kind of thing doesn't even, come up in the house,
the upper chamber,
in the houses.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're here on. Okay.
That's the much you can take this morning on the newspaper review. I implore that you go out there, look for a paper, news vendor stand, and pick up these papers and get to see the details of what we just read out to you this morning. My name is Ajorichukwu Wakabwe.
And I am Ijoma Uche.
Up next is the discussion segment on Good Morning Anambra. Don't go anywhere. The show continues.